Hello. Welcome to the introduction to app development using Dart and Flutter course. So, in this particular course, it's going to be focusing on how to develop apps using, Dart and Flutter, right? So, what does this course cover? Actually, this course covers Dart and Flutter. So, basically, what is app development, right? So, there are different type of apps, right? Um, and their desktop applications, their web applications, their mobile applications. So applications basically can be said to be instructions, right? Programs actually are instructions you give to the computer to make them perform a task. Like you tell them what you want them to do, right? So that's how computers are able to perform tasks, right? So when you're developing an application, right, you are actually developing something that issues instructions to the computer on how to solve a specific issue, right? Because there are two types of applications, right? So there are like system applications that are generic, they solve like general purpose, right? And they have specific, software applications, right, that solve specific issues, right, in the computer, and that's what we're focusing on. So you can actually use Dart and Flutter to develop applications. And what is Dart and what is Flutter, right? So this course particularly is going to be introducing us to Dart and Flutter. And Dart primarily, say let's say you can say Dart is the language, right? And if you are giving the computer instructions, you have to use a specific language to give them the instruction, right? So that is that language. And then Flutter, let's just put it like this: you can simply say Flutter is the environment that enables you to be able to communicate in that language to the computer. So that's where you write out the instructions. You can say Flutter is that paper that you write. It's like you're trying to pass a note to someone, right, to do something, and you're writing down the instructions on a paper, and you're giving it to the persons to read it and run those instructions. So that is the language you're writing on the paper, and then the paper, the environment that enables you to be able to write that instruction is actually Flutter, right? So that is the language that Flutter understands, right? Uh, and something like that. So if you're building an application using Flutter, you need to build the application in a language that Flutter understands, and that is what he understands, right? And the beautiful thing about Flutter is you can use it to create cross-platform applications, right? So if you know Flutter, you can actually use it to create applications um, for Android, for iOS, for desktop, for web, right? So if you know that and you know Flutter, it gives you that upper hand in easily creating applications from all those platforms, right? From knowing this particular code base. So that's one of the very very good advantages of knowing Dart and Flutter. If you still know the other individual ones, right, it's not a problem. But if you know Dart and Flutter, it's like one code base to write applications for all those various platforms, right? So Dart is the programming language, and Flutter is actually the platform where you write applications using Dart. So what's the purpose of the course, right? So it's just to enable you to know how to build applications using Dart and Flutter. That's literally what this course is all about, right? So, but at the end of this course, right, you will be equipped with skills in Dart and Flutter, and it has huge benefits, right? Because we're particularly focusing on we're going to use Android applications to show you how you can use Dart and Flutter, right? To teach you the fundamentals of like the introduction of Dart and Flutter. So we're going to be developing Android applications, but with that knowledge, you can easily jump into other various application development, that can be done with Flutter, right? And by the time you learn these things, you can become an Android developer, you can become a Flutter developer, and you're now a software engineer, and you can work in industries where they need this particular type of engineers. But if you want to do your own thing, if you want to freelance, you can freelance. If you want to actually work, if you want to build your own company, develop a software and sell, the software to people, they can do you can do that. So if you want to freelance, right, people can pay you as a contractor, as a freelancer. You can actually do that on contract, and you can be a freelancer, and you'll be paid to render your skills and services, you know when called upon to. And it's a very lucrative this thing, and it's a very lucrative um, aspect of technology, and it's ever going to be increased and ever going to be more lucrative, right? So thank you for your time, and do enjoy the rest of your day, and see you in the next video.